Hi, I am Admired Andrew. I am about to discuss the evolutionary ideology of MMM. MMM is the world's largest community of mutual aid and donation exchange. Now MMM unites millions of people from Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. But in order to reach the current level, the community had to travel a long way of development and improvement associated with difficulties. The purpose of MMM is to make financial relations between people fair. This goal has never changed, but the tactics to achieve it has evolved and adapted to the existing conditions. Sajid Mavrodi, the founder and director of the community, demonstrated with his personal example that there can be a person who will never give up and retreat. The solutions that will make the community even more powerful, stable, and massive can always be found. MMM is an evolving living organism. The past experience is analyzed and conclusions are made on its base. Because of these, the mechanism of the community is constantly improving and becoming more sophisticated. And now, we would like to introduce to you the history of the evolution of MMM. The history of MMM began back in 1989, then in Moscow, a cooperative. MMM was registered. Up to 1991, the cooperative was mainly engaged in computer and office equipment sale. But the direction of the company activities often changed. The business was quite successful. A lot of Muscovites probably remember the days of a free travel on the Moscow Metro that were realized by MMM several times in 1991. October 28, 1992, MMM was registered as a joint stock company. February 1st, 1994, this JSC MMM began to sell its share, and people immediately began to buy them with great enthusiasm. What appealed to people is that the company bought them back, but at much higher rates. So, the rate growth was nearly 100% per month. The principle announced by the company, today is always more expensive than yesterday. Work fruitlessly. The shares were spread like hot cakes, and very soon it became clear that issued 991,000 shares will be not enough for a long time. In this situation, the company tried to register immediately the second issue of 1 billion shares. There were no formal ground for refusal, but the Ministry of Finance still refused the company. Sergei Mavrodi came up with the idea to release MMM tickets that were not securities. It was a really brilliant idea. After all, as formerly they were just wrappers, they could be printed in any quantity and without any approval. MMM share buy and sell price of MMM ticket was changed twice a week, on Tuesday and Thursday, as it happens now in MMM community, and was published in almost all newspapers, on the radio and TV. In short, MMM 1994 advertisements were practically everywhere. Also, there were all sorts of draws among investors. For example, the sensational contest, Miss MMM 1994. You can find its photos in the archives. When this scale has exceeded all convincible and unreal expectation, the government got worried and did not want to put up with such a huge and uncontrollable economic structure. Besides, Sergei Mavrodi did not have any contact with the authorities in principle, although he kept being invited to the Kremlin for negotiation. In addition, there was the impending cash privatization. The country has divided between current oligarchs, but MMM, with its almost unlimited funds, could prevent this process. and Sergio Mavroди did not hide his intention and repeatedly state publicly that would not allow us to rob the country. The mass media started an extensive campaign against MMM Max Acts, warning investors about danger. It was the beginning of a large-scale government pressure on the company. Now the central TV channels demonstrated anti-MMM commercials. Officials of all ranks often perform on TV explaining that MMM was a scam. They urge people to sell their MMM 1994 ticket as soon as possible. The ideology of MMM. Every system has a life, the power that drives it and the energy that keeps it running. In MMM, our ideology is supreme. The modern world is bad. It is inhuman, unfair, and unjust. This is the world of money. It is not for people. It is for those who produce this money. For bankers, the financier, government, and millionaires. And people are mere pawns in this game. They just have them as attendants. Why do bankers work less and earn 100 times more? What lies behind the social welfare? Labor. But why do bankers live 100 times better than common people who really works hard? Do the bankers work harder? Definitely they don't. In addition, they do not even produce any material values or value proposition as opposed to the workers. Why then the difference in income is so enormous? Many wonder with all sincerity now reading this. Well, a banker and a worker, they cannot be compared. The banker, the head of the bank, he has power over money and is well connected, and we are ordinary people having no power or clout. Naturally, the banker lives better than we do. Meanwhile, there is nothing natural here. The point is that everyone got used to this state of affairs and take it as a matter of course. People believe that this is the way of the world, that a banker has to live better and it cannot be otherwise. But in reality, things are different and the situation can be changed. But yet, why? Why does the banker work less but live better? Better than a factory worker, miner, oil rigger, or woodcutter? Because the banker has always got money? Exactly. It's all about money. Money. This is the whole point, the cornerstone, and about it we shall talk in more details. If money is a measure of labor, why is the word unjust? So, what is money? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe it is a calculation, tool, or a measure of labor. As we are told from childhood, we have to work and work, because money won't fall down from the sky. It will be honest and hardly earned. Everyone was led to believe it from the cradle. It's interesting. What would billionaires say to that? Who honestly and hardly earn all their millions? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Well, we work without cease. But what would we expect in the end? Low wages and pension, and no rest, but a constant struggle with debt and half-starved old age. You have spent all your life working for billionaires. You have been taken away all your powers, energy, and health. You have been squeezed like a lemon, and after that you have just thrown into the dustbin as a write-off. Is it right? But that is the word. This horrific reality of the modern society, this is what we should all expect in the end, almost certainly. Everything ends up in this way for the vast majority of people in today's world, as it ends up for their mothers and fathers, grandfather and grandfathers, as it will end up in the present state of affairs for their children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, then in their turn for their children and grandchildren, and so on. That is the way of the world. Why? All this is wrong, unfair. It must not exist. Why do some people have everything but others have nothing? Why do some people walk in golden slippers, but the other barely make ends meet? Why don't know how to feed their children, although all of them work honestly? Why does it happen? Yet, we are all the people. We are equal, aren't we? Then why? Why? The right to elect and to be elected. Well, you can't elect. Of course, you are welcome. And what about to be elected? Here is quite different story. To make part in election campaign, you need a lot of money. And where is it coming from? You will never earn it as a typical worker. Therefore, in government, there are the people who have extensive financial stock. It is problematic to participate in the election for an average person, and there is no way to win. Thanks and God bless. Together, we change the world.